Alright, welcome to another town council review, something like that, meeting. This is somewhere around February 1st, 2018, something like that. I can't remember the exact date of the meeting, something like that. Such. So working my way up to present and waiting on some back meetings too that I'll probably add eventually. And such. So anyway, I have to make this. I made this whole video, already, and my audio software screwed up the recording. I switched a few months ago to Linux, and on the computers I use, and it's worked really well. But there's just these little tiny bugs that show up every now and then, and it's So, I should have done a test video, and I didn't do it, so I got bugged. But anyway, we'll try to endeavor to persevere and do this all over again. Which, it's kind of tedious the first time, since having to do it twice. It's just not that much fun. Okay. Anyway, so the meeting started with the police chief being sworn in, and my commentary would be, why do we do this stuff anyway? Why do these jobs have these official swearing in things? We have to say something silly. Yes, I swear I won't be a criminal. I'll obey I'll respect people's constitutional rights. Gee, aren't we asking for the minimum there? It's like saying, it's like me getting a job and I say in the job, I will not take a poo in anyone's living room. I mean, it's really not much of an accomplishment. To swear to, and we know they don't do it, which is even funnier. They actually do poo in people's living rooms. They actually do violate constitutional rights routinely and cover up the hypocrisies and thefts and bad behavior of their fellow criminals and all that kind of stuff. And so it's all kind of disgusting. But anyway, but all this ceremony stuff, bring the kids and blah, blah, blah. Who has jobs like that? Where you get a promotion and everybody shows up to go, yay. I mean, it's not a real world thing. So anyway, he's a nice enough guy, John Camara, and I think I've seen him before. I mean, I think he's, I haven't been arrested for anything, but yes, I think I have interacted with him here and there, and he may have chuckled at some of my antics at some point in his history. But anyway, so he's 25 years experience. It's all good things. He has 5 kids, which I don't need to know that. But anyway, but he's not a great motivational speaker. His speech was pretty. But they're not speech writers. I guess they're not not paid to be a motivational speaker, I guess. So he says he'll continue in ways we have done. Let us continue in the ways that we have done. Yes, it's not exactly poetry. But anyway, he'll support the constitutions, he says, impartially. And, there won't be any, nothing swept under the rug of any kind. Yeah, I'm sure. Anyway, so, and after that, and like that wasn't already pomp and circumstance and bullshit enough, the mayor brought up Frelinghuysen's retirement and talked about, just what a wonderful fellow he is, and he's been so helpful to the town and all that, and it's just such political slanted crap. I'm sure if our congressman was whatever dummy Democrat, he wouldn't be thanking him for anything. So just typical political crap. Anyway. So they have something called the consent agenda, and of course this always gets approved and has whatever crap in it that, so you always have to, be wary of what they threw into this package that they just say, let's all approve this without ever talking about it. And, I don't really go for that. And somewhere in there, I think, was the salary for the police chief, which is $140,000 plus benefits. And somebody voted against it, I think. So that's good. But there was no conversation about it. They just said, I would like to exclude item something or other. I think that's how it happened. Not sure. Vague memory. Anyway, so there was some change order for the pond project, a mud hole. They didn't have to pay quite as much as they thought they would have to pay because not quite as much crud was removed as they thought could have been removed. Well, anyway, and so it's supposed to be all calculated by lasers or something, and the engineer is supposed to be on top of it and blah blah blah. But anyway, it's still a huge, gigantic pile of money for a ditch, glorified ditch. The $600,000 ditch. Muddy ditch. Anyway, I like the Mendham pool. I mean, I lived with it as a kid. I have fond memories and such, but $600,000. Anyway, I mean, if ponds cost that much to maintain, it's not worth having. Anyway, Garabrandt Center generator. So, it's a 70,000 kilowatts. Well, I don't think it is 70,000 kilowatts. I think it's 70,000 watts. Period. But whatever. This is FEMA money, $60,000, whatever, $65,000, and it will include the landscaping. But this is the kind of stuff that really shouldn't happen. Because it's like the state taxes and all these different taxes that have to get paid, and it's all real money, and you shouldn't be wasting it pretending that Mendham is going to have a whole big pile of population who needs to go to the Garabrandt Center to get warm, warm their hands or something over the generator. That's not going to happen. This generator is never going to do any emergency duty for people. It's just not. And it should go to some place, where real poor people are, where they're going to really have no heat, and they're going to be kicked out of their house, and there's going to be a flood or something. None of that stuff's going to happen in Mendham. So it's waste. I hate waste, and that's just waste. Anyway, admin report. I don't know, something about the Scotty Farm Trail. I don't know if that's the barn farm, the sheep farm. I don't know. But anyway, nothing's resolved yet. That might be resolved now because I'm still behind on these meetings. So there was some conversation about a big pile of leaves frozen in the mud hole, and apparently it's not a problem. It's just leaves. People were thinking it was aliens or a bunch of trolls that were coming out of the pond, or but no, just leaves. No problem. Finance committee, something about some kind of cap budget, but I don't have any details, so nothing I can tell you. I'm sure everything's over budget somewhere or other. But anyway, so there's this other proposal to wipe out one of the tennis courts behind the firehouse, or both. I don't understand how you could wipe out one of them and do anything practical, because then you just end up with this huge fence right next to your new turf field, and that would be just a menace, I would think. So I don't know how that works. I don't know how you gain anything. It's a tennis court. It's not like a half acre or something. It's a tennis court, and I just can't for the life of me figure out how it makes any sense to be breaking all that concrete to put in some sort of turf field in some little patch. I just can't see how this could make sense at all. But anyway, that's what they're talking about doing. But again, it's just more of this sports bullshit. And yes, it's good that kids are active and all that stuff, but when you add up what you're paying per kid for their recreation, it just doesn't, it's too much money. Anyway, so then there was some thing with the Straws for Life, and the cops had to pay for it or something, and the town should reimburse them, and I don't know. This is the kind of stuff they've been talking about for 15 years about getting. It's probably way overpriced, and I don't know, why don't they just make one out of like an old snowplow or something? It's just a hydraulic vise. I mean, you should be able to make one. But anyway, fine. I'm just not big on, I don't know. If you have to use the jaws of life to get me out of something, I'd rather you just put a bullet in my head. Anyway, put me out of my misery. Anyway, sewer cap fund total, so there's something in the sewage budget, they got $165,000 extra or something, I don't know. I'll try to figure out more of these details eventually. Part of my job, I guess. Anyway, so more talk about this, they want some sort of strobe or LED. So they're saying the new technology is some sort of strobe thing, and I'm sure it's still LEDs. It's just a different kind of LED. I mean, there's nothing better than LEDs. Anyway, because it's just a different kind. This pushed across kind of mechanism and stuff, and yes, there was some conversation about, maybe you should see what the local residents think or something, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know exactly where they're thinking of putting them, or I guess as long as not in my front yard. It's one of those things. Not in my front yard. Anyway, so something about the police budget, but I don't have any details on that either. So there was conversation about trees, maintaining trees. Apparently the town plants trees, but then they don't maintain them. I don't know if that's really an issue. I think they ought to just automatically cut trees down as soon as they get a certain height. Just cut them down. It should be the rule. Trees are like, terrorists. Don't live too close to one. It's that kind of thing. Yeah, I've learned that. Trees can be a real big problem, and they just shouldn't be allowed to get overwhelming in terms of impossible to manage. You should always keep them like the Japanese or something. Keep them within a confined space. And then apparently there's another issue because the ash trees are all dying from some disease, and the electric company wants to just cut them all down, but people can save them if they want to with some sort of whatever, therapy, hospitalization, something. But yeah, I mean, this whole tree subject is, personally sensitive for me. Just because I live across from a bunch of terrorist trees, and twice a year they knock the power out, and it's not just knocked out for a few hours; it's days. I mean, this year's 6 days without power. The last 2 storms. And it's just not, it's every year I go through this garbage. And for nothing. For a stand of trees that are totally, they're not even proper trees. I mean, that's why they fall down. It's because they were planted so close together. They were supposed to be Christmas trees, and they were planted so close together that they all grew too tall and too thin. And so, yeah, they blow over too easy. So they got to get rid of them. Nobody does anything about it. Just year after, I don't know why the electric company doesn't sue or something, because it just costs us a fortune. But everybody's paying for this, right? I mean, you pay it in your electric bill. We're paying for stupid things to be done over and over again, to have the transformer blown up and the telephone pole broken and all this crap over and over again. Why? It's stupid. Somebody should do something about it. I don't mind cutting them down for free. I mean, it's just, who wants to get into the politics of, telling your neighbor that your trees are a pain in the ass. I mean, everybody takes everything personally. You go up to your neighbor and say your trees are annoying, and they, what do you think my trees are annoying? It's like insulting their children or something. So who wants to get into that crap? But the town ought to just do it as a public service. But they're township trees, see, so that's the whole problem here too. The borough people get killed by the township trees, so no proper authorities. But anyway, so then bees came up, which is an interesting subject, because that gets to bears and that gets to deers, which, in my opinion. And it's just funny. So the state is proposing some law on beekeeping, because beekeeping is attracting bears. So they're going to create restrictions on beekeepers that are sort of unpleasant, like they can't have bees on small properties anymore. And because those small properties are in residential areas, and that attracts bears to the residential areas. But the problem isn't the bees, the problem is the bears. And it's like nobody can, they do it the wrong way. Well, like they're blaming the beekeeping. No, it's not the beekeeping is the problem, it's the stupid bears that are a problem. And the stupid deers are a problem. And they don't fix this stuff. It goes on and on for decades, and they just, well, we're paying to butcher deers, and we're, paying people to shoot them, and why isn't that a perfect solution? Because the people you're paying have no incentive to solve the problem. They want there to be too many deer. They want hunting to be easy. They don't want to cut it down to 10,000 deers in the old days, where they actually had to go out for the whole weekend to maybe be able to kill a deer. They want it easy. They want to put a Barker Lounger in a chair and throw some corn on the ground and shoot shit. And they don't have any incentive in fixing this problem. You know, the cops and the firemen, and those are the only people doing this stuff, so it makes it even more of a corruption. It's all this insider network of gun nuts and sadists who, you know, get off on, you know, shooting arrows into frickin', you know, sensitive creatures. What the hell is this? This is a solution. It's the description of a debaucherous insanity. Why is the government financing torture? And that's all this is. Prolonged torture. The animals don't live better. They live worse. They live shorter lives. 3-year lifespan. I mean, it's just silly. It's baby killing. And the government's, you know, subsidizing it, essentially. So yes, let's get rid of the fucking bears. Let's get rid of the fucking deers. I mean, the whole idea of bears. What value? What rational person says, oh yes, let's have park trails where you might run across a mother bear and her cubs and have your face eaten off? Who wants to live like that? What insane person says, oh yeah, that's the adventure I want to have today. I want to risk having my face eaten off. No, I don't want to bother doing that. That sounds like a really dumb thing to do. Not even dumb. It's profoundly retarded. So yeah, you know, if you can't shoot the bear, shoot the people defending the bears. I don't care. I mean, who's defending having bears roaming around in the middle of our civilization? What idiot thinks it's a great idea, you know, to let your kid go out and explore nature and maybe get eaten by a bear? That's so stupid. Anyway, so more conversation about the Tempe-Wick crossing and the school thingy and whatever, but no solutions. Portable defibrillators, we somehow need those all over town because lots of fat people, you know, go to the Garabrandt Center, and we need to have need to save them so they can have their 3rd and 4th heart attack, you know, so they can die more slowly, not right away. Whatever, fine, okay, you need this stuff. I just, you know, yeah, I'm a non-resuscitator type. Yeah, no, don't bring me back. Yeah, I mean, if my heart stops, it's you know, it's obviously not working well enough, you know. These people ought to take it as a sign, right? All these fake religious people, you know. I mean, it's kind of ironic that we have to save our lives from God's decision that it's time to go. If God wanted you to have a defibrillator, he'd give you instructions on how to make one in the Bible, wouldn't he? So I don't think he wants you to have one. Did the birds have defibrillators? You know, I think that's like in the whatever that poem was. No, they don't have defibrillators. Are you less important than a bird? Well, if God takes care of the birds, he'll take care of you, and you don't need no defibrillators. Anyway, he's not going to take care of you, though. Obviously, he's going to kill you just like he does everything else on this planet. The religion is just such a silly thing. I don't know why there should be a law against it by now. Anyway, so the funding from FEMA for the BS generator, I mean, that sort of says it all, right? I don't have to say anything more. Safety glass at the police station, I remember that came up years ago. You know, apparently they want it to be bazooka proof and whatever, shotgun proof and, you know, whatever, 9mm proof all at once. You know, and if a piece of the space shuttle hits it, it also can bounce that off too or something. Yeah, whatever. But that's all I got to say about this whole, you know, the police hiding behind safety glass. I don't know. It just sort of doesn't make sense in some respects, but whatever. I don't get to have any safety glass. Personnel, 2% caps on salary. I don't know if they ever do that stuff, so I think that's kind of crap. Alright, so there's this whole economic development thing they talk about now and then, and I don't know why that's a relevant conversation in a town like this. The percentage of taxes that are paid by businesses is relatively small, because they really don't pay taxes based on their gross receipts. They just pay tax on sort of the value of the business, and so it's not a huge increase or anything. It's not like you get a lot of money. And most businesses, if they attract people or traffic, then they're going to cost you more than they're going to be worth anyway. So they're not something that really make your life better as a resident. Beyond the fact of having some convenience of having somebody close who can maybe, do the basic stuff, fix your car, go buy groceries, that kind of stuff if you need to. It's good to have something close by, but you don't really need a whole row of industry on the main drag. And again, the fact is that Mendham's already dead in the water on traffic. So the last thing you want is a really popular business on Main Street, because it's just going to be a huge traffic drag. So it's not even practical. I mean, keep businesses on Main Street. Why? It's just, there's too much traffic on Main Street already. It's cooked. It doesn't need any more traffic. Anyway, there was some discussion about some salt tax or something, which I think is the whole racket where you're going to count property taxes as tax deductible donations, which is just such a silly idea. The stuff the government comes up with is just so insane. These people are just so crazy. Property taxes should find a better way to tax. I mean, property taxes are just a disgustingly regressive and erroneously unfair way to tax people. It's just silly, especially when most of the money is going for child services, which doesn't have anything to do with your house. Anyway, so the conversation about the business on Main Street was something to do with the vet is moving into his animal hospital or something to some other new address. But again, I just don't see that the closer something gets to being on Main Street, the more traffic it's going to create, so the more of a mess it makes. So I just don't see how it could ever work as a plan. You kind of want to get businesses off of Main Street. Put them on Ironia Road or something, I mean, not that we don't already have too much traffic here. I'm just saying it's better for them to be on a side street than on the main drag. Anyway, DPW to define job. Snow, we had no big snow. Obviously, obviously they didn't realize winter was going to be there was going to be some extra winter. So, police officer in charge stuff, some sort of BS appointing whatever, this and that. It's all whatever. Whatever. The affordable housing thing, there's some little bit of documentation on that apparently the town is still in compliance, they say, but they're on hold because everybody's being sued, because everybody's cheating the system, and that's what they always were doing. And apparently the whole MASH thing is coming up again, the senior housing that's in Mendham, which is really sort of fake poor people, people who just get rid of all their money, give it to their kids, and pretend I'm just living on my Social Security because I gave my $14 million to my kids. And that's really not what this money's supposed to be used for, and it's kind of an insult to disabled people and other kinds of people, and it's just sort of a whole cheat of the purpose. But all these systems are just based on cheat. Everybody has to cheat because the system is written for cheating, and it should be able to do better than that. So anyway, it's just irritating. So mayor's items. I don't know, something about I think Kimberly. It's not Kimberly. Kirby Lane. Yeah, I used to deliver newspapers on Kirby Lane. I guess they're going to pave it and something, so I don't know if that means much. And some sort of address to county open space. I don't know what this one means. I don't know any of that. Sorry, just don't remember. So they had a temporary clerk for a couple of months, and they praised her and all that kind of stuff. But I'm sure they way overpaid for the 2 months of duty. It's probably I don't know, $20,000 anyway. No public comment and vouchers, and who cares? So anyway, try to do better next time. I always say something like that. I'll try to do better when there's no I in me. There's just some program that runs in my head that says, you could have done that better, you could have taken better notes, blah blah blah. And so it kind of just nags me to say something, oh yeah, this will get better, I'll do better. But in, sort of, I know there's another program running inside of me that has statistics for my life experience, and it kind of knows that, hey Gary, wait a minute, you don't do better. You always talk about doing better, but you always end up just, because, So I try to do lots of different things, and I just don't have time for anything. I really don't. I like the idea of do it once and do it right and all that kind of crap, and no job is something or other and something other. If you're going to do it right kind of idea. I like that principle. I just have a hard time living it. But I don't know whether it's entirely my fault, because the only way you can live it is to really minimize, narrow your focus, and I really don't want to do that. I want to be able to do this and the other shit I do, so that's what I'm going to do. So I probably won't do it as well as I should, but it's okay. I'm working on it. That's another line I like. I'm working on it. I really am, but in some respects, it's like there's only so much work you can get done. You can't really, do it right. To really do it right, you'd have to spend more than just one person's life doing it. So it's not even like I can do it right, even as one person. There's no hope of really doing it right. But anyway. That's a bunch of those extra bits you don't really need. But anyway, working on the web's interface and stuff, going to try to make it all kind of organized and efficient and all that stuff, and I think I'm getting there. So definitely progress. That's all I'm saying. It's just progress. So there's some reason to hope it can get better, and so hope or not. I don't know. You probably don't care one way or the other, so it's okay. Get what you get, and such. And I'll do what I do. Yeah, I'll do what I do. You'll get what you get. There, that's a good enough deal. Alright. So, till next time. Such. I'll have to wait on. I'm waiting on the other meetings. They're just coming a little slow. Technology issues. The town just doesn't. The government employees just really don't do this whole technology thing very well, and they don't really get the concept of the computer age. It's they're sitting there with their, hammer, rock, Stone Age function. Anyway, until next time. All very nice people, don't get me wrong. Everybody's very nice. Everybody's a very nice person, but I'm just saying, it doesn't matter. You're still evil. You're very nice, but you all represent some sort of evil, in my opinion. And I'm sure to some of you, I'm just the most repugnant piece of crap. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. Blah 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 blah. But I obviously think mine is more rationally based. Yeah, that's it. I think I can make a better argument that I am quite correct. That the things I point to as being just stupid waste, they are in fact stupid waste. So anyway. Until next time.